All right. Well, tonight's episode is going to be kind of different. I'm still waiting on my order to come in. It has not yet. It has not showed. The shipping date has changed. Now it says the 15th. So I'm getting kind of agitated and irritated and whatnot. So I figured I'd go back to, well, what I started on because I've been missing it for a minute. So tonight we're going to be running some old equipment, but it's going to be this was, well, when I picked it up, it was top of the line equipment, but now it's older, so now it's nostalgic and everything else. But we're going to be running a mechanical squonk, and if I'm not mistaken, this company is not in business anymore. But we're going to be running the Armageddon Manufacturing mech squonk, and we're going to be running it with an old goon V1.5, a little bit of matchy matchy. So look how close that edge is. It's so pretty. But we're going to be taking these coils out and we're going to be making our own coils tonight. And since I don't like making just coils for one RDA, we're also going to be running another mech. Let's set the menu squawk out of the way. This, you can see the discoloration. This is old, but this is a truck. Now, this may be dirty. I may have to wipe it down. I haven't opened it in a minute. Ooh, look at that, look at that. Yeah. It says the truck, purge. We also have the carnage to go with it. I know it's brass on brass, so it's going to be kind of hard to see. But we also have the Purge 25, the battle cap. But we're not going to run that. That is strictly for cloud comps, and I'm not doing that. But I would like to run a dripper as well, since I'm going to be making coils. So we'll go over both of these. I'm going to set them up. We have patina. That's from where my finger rests. The buttons were always big. Mm. Yeah, so, yeah, there it is. Purge Carnage, made in the USA. But we're going to set both these up. And, yeah. So let's close this up. Oh, and for those of y'all wondering, is it authentic? There it is. There's your cert card. Date 4/2/18. For professional use only. And it gives you recommended batteries on here. Let's see if I can get y'all down here to read that. Yeah, cover up that. But if you look right there, you can see those were the batteries 2018 that were, well, what they suggest you use. There's your quality control. So let's go back up. And we're going to build some coils because I don't have any for, well, RDA mechs. I haven't purchased any in a minute because, well, I haven't used a mech in a minute. So I'm going to run it old school and do exactly what I did when I started, which was building my own coils. It's not going to be anything fancy. It's not going to be anything extravagant, but it's going to be elegant enough to get the job done. And I'm going to show you how I do it, and we'll go from there. But I'm going to get some of this water, and we're going to get this started. All right. Now, as the intro said, I've been rocking Boros for a hot minute. And, well, I've really been missing a squonk RDA type feel. And I've been missing a dripper. So I'm going to go back to basics, and we're going to build some coils for these. And I'm going to show y'all how we do that. We're going to put them together. We're going to wick them. We're going to fire them, and we're going to go from there. And we'll explain them a little bit along the way as well. I got to level my table. Y'all see that? All right. So the wire we're going to be using 26 gauge, 36 gauge, nichrome. You can use Canthol. You can use stainless steel. I prefer the nichrome only because it ramps up a lot faster. The heat travels a lot faster in it. I like that. And you're probably thinking, what's that setup? We'll get to that shortly. I promise. Okay. But these are the two wires we're going to use. This is going to be our core wire. This is going to be our wrap wire. Okay. We're going to be making a set of dual core Claptons. That's what I ran. That's what I enjoy. I can usually make these in my sleep with this setup. You're going to need a drill. Of course, it's Mac Tools. Go figure. I mean, you are hanging out with the blue collar bastard. I'm an automotive technician by trade. Of course, it's going to be a Mac drill. Or a snap on pair of cutters. Or a Sir Tools micro set. Come on now. Now, this part of the setup you're not going to be able to see. I have, well, let's see if I can. Nope, I can't. Okay, so what I have over here is I have 3 fishing swivels, and well, let's see. I've got a bag of them. I'll take one out and show you real quick. This right here is a fishing swivel. Okay. It allows this part and this part to spin independently from each other. Let's see, right there. There we go. So y'all can spin that, and the backside stays the same. You can pick these up at bait and tackle store. You can pick these up at Walmart. Anywhere where they have fishing supplies, they're going to have swivels. Now, the only thing I do different is, let's see if I can get it off here real quick to show y'all. I have this part hooked to an eyelet, which holds it still. This one is a ball bearing swivel, so it has a lot less resistance. These are just regular swivels. So they have friction inside of here and here. I have a ball bearing at the end, so no matter what, it's not going to stop and twist my wire around on top of each other. It's always going to swivel. Even if these two lock up, this third one's going to keep spinning. All right, so let's go back up, big shot. And now we're going to take our 26 gauge. And if you're wondering about this wire, You can get them by the roll. A lot of coil makers do. But if you're not going to make a lot of coils, you don't need to buy the big spools of it. You can just buy the bundle. And that's what I did. That's what I do. I did buy an extra roll of, I have 40 gauge in there when I want to do very fine, very, very fine Claptons. But you can pick these up Amazon. Most of your I don't know about anymore, but most of the time your vape shops carry wire. I don't know about anymore. I can't vouch for anymore. But what I'm going to do is, what I like to do is I'll try my best to untwist this here. And you'll have the one that wraps and the one that stays through the hole. What I'll do is on this one, I'll tuck it, the one that stays. Let's get y'all down here where I can actually show y'all what I'm doing. This one right here that runs back underneath, I am just going to take this and I'm going to run it. Oh, can't do that. I'm going to run it in between the links of the drill and the swivels. And then I'm going to do it double. And now nichrome's really easy to straighten, because when you don't, you end up with this. That's probably hard as crap to see, but you'll end up with it spiraling back around. And I'll show you how to fix that here in a second. And I just twist it back around it like that. Take your cutters and snip. And now what I do is, come on, get it off, huh? I'll take this and I'll bend it over. And the reason we're going to do that is we're going to unroll this just a little bit. And we're going to take our drill, right? All right, let's go back out so we can see the whole thing. And there's little lines right here inside of the teeth of the chuck. Spin it around. And what I'm going to do is tighten it down. Pull it tight. Stretch it out and then run the drill for a second. And then a second again. And then one more time. And what that's going to do is it's going to straighten it. So we're going to do that until it's straight. There it is. Now we have a nice straight wire. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through the end of my swivel over here. And I pulled way too much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it back this way. All right, we got to do something different here. Pause. There you go. I don't think y'all have ever seen this side. This is what's around the border of my thing, by the way. I have stuff tucked in particular places so I can just grab it and show y'all and then put it back. But for this instance, what I'm gonna do is, try and do this to where we can get everything in. Okay, so I'm going to cut a little bit past here, snip, and I only overcut by that much, which is good. So now I'm going to take and twist, bend this end over, just like I did the other side. And then we're going to, come on, undo the chuck of the drill. And we're going to make sure that our bend's still good on both of them. And I like to bend them to where they're away from each other. But what you want to do is make sure that they're side by side, not on top of each other. Okay. Now that we have that set, I like to make sure we're still side by side. And not all twisted. All right, we're good there. Make sure we're not twisting as we go because our swivels are bound, which they are not. Beautiful. Now, you're probably wondering what this setup right here is. Let's see if I can get y'all down here. This is the 36 gauge, and this is how I've learned how to do dual core Claptons. This makes it really easy. This is just, well, you can get them from there, but it's literally just a spool holder. It makes it so you can pull the wire out without it unraveling. What I did is I took 2 hair clips to lift that up, put enough tension on it to where it'll slide around. So what I'll do is I'll take that much wire and I will, let's go back out, start it in the chuck of the drill. And I will start to spin it until it starts to wrap around those dual coils, those dual core wires. I'll put a little bit of tension on it, not a lot. And I'll back feed it over itself so it doesn't come unwrapped. And then I'll start running down the wire. And you'll notice that eventually that's going to catch up to the wire. Snip that off. And with this setup, if you have it set up correctly, just a slight downhill slope towards the swivels, and you running it steady, you could sit here and talk, explain things, and vape while you're making dual core Claptons. And with this setup, what I like about it is right now I've got the drill in low speed. Okay, I can flip it to high speed and run this almost wide open. Now I'm gonna try and position this over the center, and we're gonna see if I can't get y'all down here. Oh nope, not yet. All right, so we're gonna go back way up top. I'm gonna wait till we get to about right here, and then I'll bring it down and I will show y'all just how clean this setup makes it. But over the years, I have learned that you can't have it dead even. You can't have it level. Because if you have it level, it'll start back feeding over itself. You want a little bit of a down droop. All right, let's see if that'll work. Everything else. See if we can't get it to focus right there. All right. That's pretty clean. So we're going to go back up. I'm going to finish this out. And then I'll show you how to coil them. And then we'll put them in one. And we'll go from there. And that's how you know we're done. I will show you all that in a minute. But it actually started to back up on itself right there because I touched it and it went up and it took that angle from down to up and then it started back feeding. So that's more than enough coils for two RDAs that are both dual coil. So that's where we're going to end it. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your 36 gauge and roll it off of the wire. snip the 36 gauge, always leave a tag out. You see that tag right there? It's little, but it's right there. Leave that out. You'll thank me later. Otherwise, it'll unspool inside of it. So we'll set that off for now. Woo-hoo. All right. Now, what we're going to do is what I do is I snip here, and then I will cut right at the head of the drill. Actually, this time we'll just unscrew it and take it out so I can show y'all both ends. Okay. Please be very conscious with your scrap pieces like I have here. This will lay on the floor and it'll get stuck. And at some point in time, if you're walking around barefooted in your house, it will jam into your foot and it will hurt. Just heed my warning. Please. It hurts. Especially with little pieces like this. So you can barely see it in my hand. Yeah, imagine trying to see that on like carpet or something. All right. So now we're done with the drill. We can put it away. And this is what we're left with. Let's go down. This is what we're left with. This is the end that was in the drill. They went in between each chuck tooth. And this is where we started to wrap it. Let's see if I can get y'all down even closer. Look at that. See? That's where it started to wrap. And then that is the rest of the Clapton. See how pretty that looks? And then coming up is, boom. See where the angle was off? And it started to backfeed on itself. It created that nasty mess right there. All right. So what I'm going to do is right before that mess, I'm just going to snip it off. Make sure that goes in the trash. And then we're left with a pretty end. I'm going to go all the way back to this side. And right after those big spaces, we're going to clip that off. Look at that. And I know you'll see like, oh, there's little twists in there. Yeah, it twists a little bit. It does, but you straighten that out whenever you put it on your coil jig. And for that, we've got to go back out some, not much. Now, I like this coil jig for doing this. But that is my 2.5. That is what I use for my boros. We're going to be rocking 3s. Because, well, that's what I'm used to on these. Now, I do have, see, that's a 3. That's a 3. I also have a 3.5, which I could run, but I prefer my 3s. Now, I'm going to leave my 2.5 out because when I'm done, the 2.5 is going back in there. But there are many different coiling jigs. Many different. You just got to find the one that suits you. Now, what I do is I'll start this here. Let's take y'all back out because I'm not going to be able to do that this close. Like this. And we're making 2 sets of coils, so I'm going to make my life easy. I'm going to take and fold this in half. Don't crease it. Just make the ends touch. And right here in the center. Just snip. And now we have 2 pieces of Clapton. Okay? what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this in, and fold this down. See that right there? And then I'm going to coil it. But I'm going to make sure that those ends stay flat. When I mean that is those wires are going to stay right next to each other and they're going to roll nice and pretty. And I'm going to do 5 wraps on each. So that's 2. Try and keep them as close as possible. 3, 4, 5. Come on, focus. Now what I'll do is I'll snip this lead a little short right there. Come on. There we go. And I know, you're like, oh, that doesn't look good. Well, before we had professional coil makers, we used to make them ourselves, and well, sometimes they didn't look pretty, but a little bit of heat and a little bit of shaping, they will look good. But let's see if I can get y'all down here to see this. Look at that. And when we get it heated up, we'll squeeze it together and get it nice and close, and it's going to look, see if I can do it here, something about like that. And now we have another set here. We're going to make them. So let's go. And do the same thing. We're going to push that end down. We're going to go 5 wraps, nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, one more, 5. Look at that. Same as the other one. So we're going to cut this off here. And now we have 1 and 2 coils. I'm not going to say perfect, but they're not bad. They're not bad. I've made worse coils. I promise you that. Once we get them in and get them tight and get tension on them, they're going to come out rather nicely. Now, we have a whole nother set, so I'm going to burn through and make 2 more, and then we'll come back and we'll throw them in. All right, well, there you go. We've got 2 sets of dual core 26 wrapped in 36 Claptons made at home. And now we're gonna throw them in. Which one should we start with? I mean, do we start with the Armageddon and the Goon, or the Purge? I say we start with this one. I like this one. This is the one I really want to use. So this is the one we're going to start with. All right, so we're going to move. This is not going up yet because we're going to use this to set these. So we're going to set that out of the way, but we're going to put our 2.5 back in here, just so I don't lose it. All right, so we're going to push our coils out of the way. I got something poking off of my nail and it hurts. I think I might got a wire stuck in there. All right, we're going to take our Mix XC and we're going to take our Goon. Now, I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with a Goon. I don't know if you've been around long enough to deal with a Goon. I had the original Goon, the Goon V1 that had the 3 ports on the side. Well, mine was a Lost Vape Goon, but yeah. This is the 1.5, which came out not too long after that one, but it is an adjustable airflow right there on the side. You do have this cap is removable. You can do single coil or you can do dual coil, but I'm running it dual coil. So we're going to stick that back in there and we will adjust the airflow. This is an 810 drip tip. And it is chipped. I don't know when that happened, but it happened. But it doesn't affect anything. We're going to take these out and let's see if this one will do it. Nope. I don't have spare screws for this. And these are old, so they're wore out. This was before I got precision tools. But we make do with what we got. I remember my OG Goon was so bad, I used to have to tighten these with pliers. Because I wore that thing out. I loved it to death. Okay. Now we're going to take this set here, the first set we made, and a little trick of the trade. See how you got them spread out right here? I'm going to over twist it just a little bit so it goes past it. See how they're past each other now? Then I'm going to take this and I'm going to bend it back straight, just so they're almost lined up. Bend that past it a little bit more. There we go. See how they're straight now instead of offset like the original ones? And that's going to make it so much easier to put it in, because on the Goon, it's literally a plate, just a plate. You slide it in, And what I like to do is put it real close, because I'm going to pry them out here in a minute when I put tension on them. And I'll cut it. And these things fly, so aim it the way you have something blocking it so it hits it and stops. Otherwise, it'll go everywhere. Now, I've got one coil trimmed. I'm going to take it back out, and I'm going to lay it down. And I'm going to do the same thing to the next one. I'm going to get it set, over twist it, right? And then I'm going to go back and bend it. Just like that. And then I'm going to go to the other side, which they're the same side essentially. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to butt it right up against it. And I'm going to aim it and and now you still see I got some right now. There we go. Now I'm going to take that other coil that we just made, pull this out while I'm holding it with my thumb. And slide it in right next to that other coil. And if your leads are somewhat the same, it's going to be a pain because you got to get on one side or the other of them. And these things can get fidgety. But there were some people that were so good at this thing, they could just throw it in there and like literally not even blink. There we go. Got it next to each other. Now, I like to tighten down the insides and then screw down the outsides. And you'll notice when you do that, those coils, they get twisted. See how that looks? And that's why I put them really close, because when I do this, and then I can pull them out and straighten them. And then that brings it back to that 3. Oh no, it all went right. No. And I unscrew the side where it slipped out. And then I twist it back and I put it back underneath it. And then I'll tighten it down. All right, and now you can twist this one back out and get it back in straight. And then we'll go up with it a little bit. And then we'll pull that out. And look at that. Nice and pretty. Now, what I'm going to do is go back through and try and tighten these down a little bit more. And then let's see what we ohmed out at. 1.5 at 20 watts. So let's fire these. All right, so let's crank this up a little bit. We're going to take it up to 35 watts. Then we're going to rake. Now, this is a little bit more difficult because, well, oh, look at that, same size as my screwdriver. Stretch it out a little bit, get it away from that base. Come on, same size. There we go. All right. The difficult part about this is getting both coils to fire at almost the same rate. See how this one's firing good and this one's not? Got a little more tweaking to do on this one too. What I think happened? No. Okay. A lot of times, if you didn't cut the lead short enough on this side would touch and it would cause it to start firing at the end of the coil instead of the center of the coil. But if you look at that, remember what I told you about closing that gap? Once we get it on here and get it heated up, look at them. A little bit of a gap. There we go. All right. So now we're not running our Ambitions cotton. We're going to be running cotton bacon. And this is what I ran. Well, I think this is V2. Yeah, I ran V1 cotton bacon for the longest time. All right. We'll take some of our cotton bacon. And I already fluffed it out and I'm going to roll it down. Tear a little piece off. How about that? And if you do it right, yeah, just like that, you can take it, cut it here, twist your end down, and you go straight in through the other side. Oh, I didn't twist it down enough. Just like that. Send it through. Twist it as you go in. And then look at that. Pull that back through a little bit. Now, since this is a squonk mod, we're going to want these a little bit long. So what I do is I'll just go out about 2 or 3 millimeters and cut it off. Something about like that. Nice and pretty. Now, you're going to want to wick these up. So what I do is I'll take my screwdriver and I will fluff and fluff and fluff. What I do is I'll rake, stick my thumbnail underneath it, and rake against my thumbnail. Just get those fibers all broke up. Because remember, you're not having to stop juice from coming in on this one. So you want it to be able to pull juice and hold juice in it. Get that nice little fan going right there. Do the same thing on this side. As you can see where we cut it with the scissors, got flat spots. And the hard pack flat spots will not wick properly. Fan them out. And I know you're probably thinking that looks like a mess. Go back and pull the extra fibers off. Get them off your fingers. Turn your fan so it's not blowing them all over the place. And then we're going to tuck and tuck. That's it. Tuck and tuck, but you want to leave enough room for the airflow to go underneath the coil. Same thing on this side. You're just going to tuck and tuck. Flip and tuck. Flip and tuck. Now what I do is I'll take and pack it down just so I got a little channel underneath that coil right there. Tuck it down in there. Oh yeah. Just like that. Boom. And then flip. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. Flip and tuck. And that's it. Now, what we can do, all right, let's see, what are we going to run? What are we going to run? What are we going to run? What do we got up here? That's peanut butter. No. Let's do, yeah, we're going to do a Gulf Breeze. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're going to do a Gulf Breeze. Unique blend of exotic fruits. That sounds really good. So what we're going to do is we're going to saturate the top. Let me get y'all in here where y'all can see this, just like this. And now I do this one a little differently. Because it is setting up for a squonk. I'll stick it underneath the coil and I'll squeeze. And squeeze. And then I'll go back to the top and I'll just pump and pulse it. Because that is a lot of cotton. All right, let's get y'all down here where y'all can see this. Boom. You can see the juice sizzling in between the coils. Now, if you're worried about how it looks, you take your screwdriver and smooth your coils over. Or smooth your cotton over. Just like that. Now, let's throw it on the mech and see how it fires. All right, so. Woo. All right, we're going to take our Voodoo 18650 and just Oh, wrong one. This way. Just like that. All right. And we're going to take our goon with it wide open. And this doesn't have a lock. Literally, once you can put this on here in any direction. So you got to pay attention. Slot needs to line up with your coil. Yep, see? Can't even get it off now. Gotta find my tweezers. There we go. All right, now it should come off with the friction of the O-rings. There we go. We'll set that to the side for the moment. Now we'll stick this on here. Screw this down to make sure we're firing. Make sure we don't have to adjust our pins. It looks like we're going to have to. So take this back off or screw it up a little bit. This was made before the spring-loaded 510 for a squonk, by the way. So yes, this has an adjustable 510, but it's manually adjusted. There it is. All right, now when we do that, we're going to saturate this a little bit. A little over wet, but it'll be all right. Woo. We're going to line our slots up with our coils. I don't know if y'all can see that right there, but see our slots are lined up with our coils. Oh. Lined up. Got juice everywhere. We're going to run it wide open just to see what happens, okay? Oh. God, that airflow is so freaking smooth. Mm. Sorry. The airflow is really smooth on that. Really smooth. I haven't ran a mech in a while. All right, let's turn that fan back this way, dissipate some of that. All I'm doing is I'm filling up the bottle. And if you've never seen this technique, I can explain it to you. I think I did in one of my other videos. But yeah. There we go. Bloop. All right. And now that is all set to run, baby. Just, whoo. She feisty. Dense, dense vapor. Ooh. Come on, fan, do your job. There we go. All right. So that's that one. And I really like this one only because it's squonk. Carry juice with me. I don't have to carry a full bottle. So tomorrow when I leave the house after I'm done editing everything, this is what I'll be taking with me. I rather enjoy this. I've used this forever. I love this mod. They don't make them anymore. I will find more. I know this is 3D printed version. They do make metal versions, and I will find another one. I rather enjoy this one. It's rather nice. Fully silver contacts, full mech, beautiful, beautiful squonk. I think this is actually an aftermarket squonk bottle, if I recall correctly. Yes, it is. But that's just perfect. All right, now this video is a little long, so I will save this one for next week. Or you may get 2 videos tomorrow because I missed last Sunday. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So on this one, we're going to play the outro. And yeah, there'll be another one that follows this one. So as of right now, we're going to run a part 2. But thank you for coming to hang out with the Blue Collar Bastard. And now I do have a Patreon for this channel. It is free. I will be posting things for rehoming. We'll put it that way. And you can message me through there and we will discuss it. Also, you can see what I'm up to. If you would like to help support the channel, there is a paid version as well. And I'm still working on getting that Patreon figured out. It's a weird system. Okay, like it'll let me do some things, but it won't let me do some things. I can't upload videos to it, which is weird. Everybody else can. I haven't figured that setting out yet. I'm working on it. Bear with me. But yeah, if you'd like to see what's coming up on the channel, what I get up to outside of here, or what things I'm looking to rehome, go check it out. Links in the description. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Play the outro.